Ghalia Mahmoud is in the kitchen. With a few simple ingredients like flour, eggs, yeast and spices, she's making kak, sugar-coated cookies that are a traditional treat for Eid, the holiday marking the end of Ramadan. She's not alone. Her sister and daughters are helping out. And thousands of Egyptians are watching her every move, eagerly taking down her authentic Egyptian recipes. The mood in the studio is festive as Ghalia sings the traditional tunes of the Eid feast. The mood in the control room is a bit more intense. Producer Habiba Hisham can hardly keep up with the incoming phone calls. Viewers from across the country, women and men, are phoning in to ask Ghalia questions on the air, to share their own recipes, or simply to say hello to their favorite celebrity chef. But Ghalia wasn't always an icon. Just a couple of months ago, she was working as a cook and housemaid for an Egyptian family. A relative of the family, who was starting a new TV network, decided to put her on the air. Now, just weeks after her TV debut, Ghalia is a household name. People stop her on the street to have their picture taken with her, or simply to say hello and tell her how much they appreciate her show.
I'm really happy that people like me. I love them too. On the streets they wave and come up to me and ask, "Are you really there, Ghalia?"
This housewife from Cairo's working-class district of Sayeda, Zainab, says she waits for Ghalia's show every day. I have learned a lot from Ghalia. Her recipes are easy to make and they're also affordable, she tells us. Ghalia's laid-back approach to cooking and her low-cost recipes are particularly appealing to her fans. Her tips on stretching the family budget and making more for less come as welcome advice during troubled economic times. Among her fans are Ghalia's own neighbors in the low-income neighborhood of El Waraq, who struggle to make ends meet.
For just 10 Egyptian pounds you can make a meal. A tray of potatoes and rice. All you need is half a kilo each of potatoes and tomatoes, a quarter kilo onions and rice.
Ghalia's show and her rise to fame is the brainchild of TV executive Mohammed Gohar. It was his sister who employed Ghalia and first took note of her talents. Gohar says Ghalia is a living example of how things are changing in post-revolutionary Egypt.
It's a new Egypt. It's a new era. It's a new television. It's a new people-to-people talk instead of authoritarian to people. A lot of poor people like her see themselves on her.
Ghalia is also attracting attention beyond Egypt's borders. Today, a correspondent for an American newspaper is visiting. Ghalia takes her on a tour of her modest home, including her own kitchen, which looks very much like the one in her TV studio.
We recreated her kitchen so that Ghalia would find herself in familiar surroundings. The pots and pans are aluminium just like Ghalia's. We've bought a small stove and a fridge that are just like Ghalia's. We even use a traditional garlic presser like this one to mince garlic.
Familiar surroundings were important since Ghalia had never been trained to address a TV audience. But it's a job she performs with astonishing ease. Her warmth, energy and sense of humour shine through as she offers simple solutions to everyday problems, both inside and outside the kitchen. As she finishes up the first batch of kak, Ghalia says she'll be giving it to her Christian neighbours in a gesture of goodwill and friendship. It's a small but valuable lesson in tolerance for her audience, who are inspired by her success and eager to leave their country's troubled past behind them.
Lots of people were suffering. They couldn't afford to buy even the basic necessities. In the new Egypt, there's opportunity. Anyone who works hard will find that their effort will yield fruit.
In a country where a humble cook can become a star, her viewers can dream and hope for a better future for all of Egypt.